What's up, volleyball fans? We are approaching the latter portion of our elimination round. Both our teams, the Aep Cabstars and the Alpha Insurance Protectors, are heading to the semifinals. The Cabstars looking to get a win finally over the Insurance Protectors, while Team Alpha still looking to protect and to stay in the winning column. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Tuesday. This is one of two of our doubleheader. We are live at the Paco Arena here in Manila, and this is Spikersturf, where power meets passion.
I would like to welcome you back here inside the Paco Arena here in downtown Manila. The players have arrived early and they've prepared for their game here this Tuesday afternoon. It's the ongoing coverage of the 2026 Spikersturf Open Conference. This is the penultimate day of competition. And we're going to find out just who will be playing for both these squads, because Bailey's mentioned a while ago that both these squads have already solidified their position in the semifinals. These are the games today: AAP versus ALP, and then Savage versus VNS. Once again, good afternoon, Philippines. Welcome to the Paco Arena. Anthony Starr here together with Noreen Go. Noreen, these two squads, nothing to prove really, but at the same time, if the other players are given the opportunity, that will be a time for them to shine.
Yeah, I think it's an exciting game because the top four has been determined to go to the next round. So today is about preparation for that next round. So you said other players may play, might be different sixes. So it's going to be an exciting game.
It depends on the approach of the particular coach. Some coaches would want to rest some of their players. Other coaches want to make sure that their starters are fresh.
Yeah.
And so, again, depending on the approach of the respective coach, we'll see the lineups that are going to be presented here today.
But for sure, these players are going to play for pride. So they're still going to give their all.
Yes, that is for sure. Right now, let's take a look at Cabstars' previous game. And that one was a quick one.
Yeah, I mean, it went in 3 sets, no? But what you like about the Cabstars, you see the improvement, gradual improvement. You'll see what departments they have to work on, and the weaknesses also they have to work on, the strengths they can actually improve on. It did go straight sets, no? But they've been improving, and that's what you want to see from this team that's going to make it to the next round. And if you can see, their strength really is their service. They have really fortified their service. They had 7 aces. And another key strength is they don't really commit a lot of errors. So they want to bring that into the 4th round. The last round, actually.
Yes, and it's very important for them to actually have some momentum, as they say, going in to the semifinals. Right now, let's take a look at J. Rack de la Noche, one of the stars of that particular matchup, and he just not came up with great numbers, but at the same time leading his charge that game.
Yeah, I mean, he found a home in the Cabstars, and he has been the main man, scoring at all angles. His attacks, his blocking, his service. So what he brings to the team is really leadership. By example, he's not that vocal a player. We know that from his collegiate days, but he has been the main man, and he wants to steer this team to better heights in the next round.
So that is one side of the story. Let's now flip over to the other side and let's talk about the other team. Talking about Alpha, also a squad that wants the victory because they want to have some momentum going into the next round.
Oh, but that last game was a heartbreaker for Alpha Insurance. They actually won the first 2 sets against Savage, and they were looking good. We talked about Alpha a lot of times, saying that it's a strong team. It just doesn't translate into winning or beating Savage or Crisscross. But that game, they were so close, but they fell short. They were reverse sweep by Savage. But if you look at the numbers, it was really close, no? Spikes, blocks, aces. But one thing they need to correct is their errors. They commit way too much errors than their opponents, and you're not going to win games with those numbers.
That's for sure. You can see there, 25-21. Their loss in the 3rd set. That actually could have been a 3 straight victory for their squad. They were on the verge, but just not able to convert. Let's take a look at one of the key players for this squad of Alpha, and let's see the numbers of him. As they say, they're not backing down. That's Billy Anima.
Yeah, it's a team event. You have people like Camposano, you have Ronquillo, and you have Umandal, but you always also want to stress the importance of the middles, and Anima really played well, and hopefully, I think he's going to rest today, but hopefully in the next round, in the last round, they want to make it to the top 2 to play for the gold. They need Anima to actually really lead in terms of net defense. Scoring is always a bonus, but net defense, it's going to be huge for this team.
There you can see him there resting and smiling, saying, I'm not going to be playing today. We'll see who's going to be in his place. Once again, we'd like to invite everybody to join us for the conversation at spikersturf 2026 is the hashtag. So we want to be able to hear from you all throughout our game. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll turn you now over to the venue announcer to get the starting 6 from both these squads.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Paco Arena in the city of Manila for another day of your Spikersturf 2026 Open Conference, where power meets passion. This is match number 26 in the preliminary round between the Aep Cabstars and their opponents across the net, the Alpha Insurance Protectors. Let's meet our 2 men in charge for this match. The first referee is Mr. Jofer Educado. And the second referee is Mr. Philip Ricahuerta. Introducing the starters first for the Aep Cabstars. Beginning with their setter number 5, EJ Casanya. Opposite spiker number 9, J-Rack de la Noche. Outside hitter number 12, Paul Malaiba. Middle blocker number 13, Nas Guaza. Middle blocker number 18, Michael Doria. Outside hitter number 23, Jared Schnacki. And their starting libero is number 24, Vince Lorenzo. The head coach of the Aep Cabstars is Mr. Christian Kitty Antiporta. Presenting next the starting lineup of the Alpha Insurance Protectors. Starting with their team captain, middle blocker number 16, Jeff Abunyawan. Opposite spiker number 1, J.M. Ronquillo. Outside hitter number 7, J.J. Javelona. Middle blocker number 8, Raymond Sabanal. Outside hitter number 15, Edward Camposano. Center number 23, Sian Silang. And their starting libero is number 24, Rec Alfaro. The head coach of the Insurance Protectors is Mr. Mike Santos.
Well, the starters have been called out, and we are ready to go right here at the Paco Arena in downtown Manila. Thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to have a good one on our hands. It'll be very interesting to see exactly how this squad from Alpha begins, coming off a heartbreaker of a loss, which we talked about during the pregame.
Yeah, I mean, it was a reverse sweep. That's really got to hurt, but these players, they move on. They just learn from their past game. And the focus is really to the next round, because clean slate, next round, single round robin, top 2 teams who play for the gold, the 3 and 4 play for the bronze.
And we're underway. we can see a difference of approaches already from these two coaches. One opting to rest one of his star players, load management, so to speak. On the other hand, the other coach says, nope, we want as much momentum as we can possibly grab getting into the semifinals.
Because they know that, both these teams, they were really formed in terms of complete roster pretty late coming into the Spikers turf. So every game is like practice, trying to gel, find the chemistry. So each game is actually important.
Boom!
Well, if you have good pass, you can run the middles, and that was a good one from Doria.
Schnacki with the serve here. That was picked up quite well. Going to the pin. Some great action we're seeing here to begin. That one, they say, was checked.
So Manalo saying no, and then when they called the check ball, he said yes.
Finally was thinking, should I admit, should I not? But remember, there's a challenge, so never mind. Let's go through the next point.
Oh boy, great serves by Schnacki.
Gets to that one. That one a little bit overset. That's going to be in, they say.
We did talk about him at the top of the coverage. J-Rack de la Noche is the main man, the go-to of the Cabstars.
That's another nice serve. Opportunity for them to keep this point going, and they're going to win it in one hand. Yeah, pretty good start.
Yeah, that was a smart tip. The blockers were there. I'll target the outer hand.
That time the serve for Schnacki goes a little wide.
Yeah, we saw a bit of a miss hit, that contact with the ball. I feel this may be a long game because both these teams, they have the same foes. I mean, they can't seem to beat Savage and Chris Cross.
Let's see, they're hoping for that breakout win.
Yeah.
And they're hoping it comes in the semifinals, of course.
Yeah, because if you look at the lineup of both these teams, a lot of players from the now defunct Signal, they're a strong team, but the thing is, they haven't been playing together for a long time.
And so they're hoping that chemistry starts to come to the forefront when they get to the next phase of the competition.
Which is the most important, because that one, everybody has equal chance, regardless of the standings, to play for the gold.
And it's only one round.
One round.
So all you need is a win, a breakout win against a team in the semifinals that could propel you to a final slot.
Yeah. That's a great block by Guaza. It went back to Camposano. It hit his head.
6-3 is our score. Quick play.
Oh. Yeah, Abunyawan has been a revelation because he's not the tallest of middle blockers. Look, he's standing beside Camposano. He looks actually shorter.
Correct.
But his speed and his obviously athleticism was like recognizable, really.
Well, they knew they were going to go to him the moment he got the reception there. Boy, De La Noche just continuing his strong hitting ways.
Great setting on the part of Catania. Look at that, just one blocker.
That's not going to get it done.
Yeah.
You've got to send two at least. 7-4. 3-point lead enjoyed here so far by Cabstars. Oh, another point here for the man in the middle.
Yeah. However which way the score, look at this. It's like a hook shot.
You can get some style points for that as well.
points for creativity.
Exactly. Camposano with a serve. That's going to clip the line.
Oh, they needed that because it seemed like at the start of this first set, it's like the Cabstars have control, but now it's just a 1-point lead.
Well, with the way I understand what you're saying, the Cabstars have started, you'd think they'd have a 4 or 5-point lead. Abunyawan says, what did I do to deserve that? I've scored 2 points for you already. We're going to take a little break. We'll be back for more action here from the Pac Arena in a bit.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and I was able to have a chat prior to the match with the Alpha Insurance Protector, JJ Havilona. JJ Havilona is a graduate of FEU, took a major in sports science. This is his 3rd season in Spikers Turf. I asked him the treatment given that his team is already heading to the semis no matter what, and he said that the team opted to shuffle the lineup and they still look to win this match, of course, to gain momentum. But I did ask him what's constant for him in each and every match. He said that he has a pre-game routine ever since his UAP college days. That's 1, he listens to good energy type of music, and 2, he has his favorite iced coffee. He believes in the importance of mental preparation just as important as physical preparation. This is to attract good and calm energy to approach the match, to be ready to desensitize himself from the outside noise. And being a sports science graduate, he advocates the importance of this to athletes as well. And today, he had a iced caramel macchiato, and his song of the day is Ale by Bloomfields. Your thoughts, Anthony and Noreen?
Depends. If you're gonna sing it, Bailey's.
And at the same time, you're talking about some snacks. Now I'm getting hungry. And I'd like a drink.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these players, when you hear all the reports, they have their rituals really. It's pretty similar. You know, they like listening to music. Some listen to gospel music. You know that?
It depends really on what calms you. That's the important thing, is you want to have the right mindset when the game begins. So if you want rock, if you want jazz, if you want gospel, I mean, that's why to each his own.
Yeah. And we were just talking about Schnacky. He did mention he is a golfer.
Yes, he and I actually met in an event a few months back, and we have been trying to schedule a game and we have not been able to yet.
He's busy.
And now he's going to be even busier. I guess we'll have to wait till the end of the conference.
Yeah. Well, on cue, you know, as Bailey's was reporting about Havilona, he scored a couple of points.
Nice dig there from Takeda. And Camposano's going to get that through. A 3-man wall.
Yeah, that was established. It's just power. You know, he powered it through the blocker. You know, Camposano has been around in the Spikers Turf. He's played for a couple of teams. But I think one of the longer stints is here with Alpha Insurance.
And Camposano was there once again. He thought he got a point. Jared just sends that one over. Cross court. Running out of space. That time was Alpha.
Yeah, it was just the execution. I think that was a great set by Silang. But yeah, just too much power in that.
1-point lead here enjoyed by Cabstars. That's another great serve from Jared. And this time he picks up an ace.
He has been serving well for the Cabstars. That actually started pretty much a run for AEP.
Serving once again. That time clips the net. That just might have gone over.
Oh, good stop.
Back set, they go down the line. And they say that was it.
Boy, the precision of J-Rack de la Noche. Let's just talk about today. He has been on point.
That was right in front of coach, and he said, okay, that was good.
Yeah.
No questions.
Boy, this rotation for Cabstars, although that was a service error, has been good to them. That's where they normally get 2 to 3 points.
Well, they were able to get a couple there once again to increase their lead to 2. Alpha trying to come back. That clipped the net. That's going to stay inside. Another point here for Cabstar.
Yeah, that was a perfect pass by Lorenzo.
Ooh, that was close.
That was close. Because it actually clipped the net.
Chance for them here. Ronquillo didn't get all of that, but he got it to where he wanted it to go.
Again, whatever works. You know, we always say it pays to be good, it pays to be lucky. That was lucky because it did still end up inside the court.
He was trying to go cross court. I don't think he was looking for that acute of an angle.
Side spin.
Guaza gets that one through. Still alive, Campuzano to the corner.
Whoa.
Guaza says the second time is a charm.
I love that set. The blockers were totally not ready. Look at this. Just one. Do I block? Do I not?
And Guaza with that hang time says, okay, I can stay up here as long as I want. Good reception there. But that attack will go awry. And that's going to open up a huge lead here for Cabstars. They're up by 4 as we get to our second technical timeout.
Sumabay ka na lang, huwag kang mahihiya. Sige, subukan mo, baka may pala. Jumbo hotdog. Sundan mo lang ako. Jumbo hotdog. Kaya mo ba to?
UAP Season 88 volleyball is in full swing. Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available at the UAP Varsity channel and on One Sports. Because legends start here. And those legends end up here in Spikers Turf.
That is true. But Cabstars doing a good job here in the first set to create some distance with Alpha Insurance.
Campuzano once again. Still with them. Back to Campuzano. Now he can put some power.
If at first you don't succeed, you have to keep trying. I mean, the blockers did a good job in trying to stop Campuzano, but he will not be denied.
He was biding his time until he got the opportunity he wanted.
Yeah, overpass.
Float serve there from Campuzano. And Guaza puts it down.
Well, you know that Casania and Guaza has been playing together for quite some time, so the connection obviously there.
Solid lead so far still here for Cabstars. We've been seeing great serving. Jared is trying to put that one down. The attack going to the net.
Yeah, he had the right thing in mind. He want to be aggressive, but that bump set was actually too low.
That's going to cut the lead down to 3. Trying to score here. Let Cabstars hear some footsteps. Back to the corner. And Jared is going to hit the antenna.
Back-to-back points for the Alpha Insurance Protectors. Just a 2-point lead. That's what Alpha wants. You want to keep this close, make this run count.
That's for sure. Looking for even one more here to get to within one. But that serve will sail long.
Well, you know, we talked about Alpha Insurance and that game against Savage. The errors so far here in the first set, pretty much giving a lot of free points, a lot of leeway for the Cabstars.
And there you had some momentum already, and then you give up a point.
Yep.
Guaza with the serve. Not able to get there in time. It's going to be an ace, the second ace here for Cabstars.
Well, remember also we talked about the Cabstars and their ability to serve well.
Timeout will be called here by Alpha.
Pasal na, Roy. Tingin tayo sa bola. Ha? Kasi let's go. Apat lang yan, no? Kaya pang habulin.
Patience.
Alpha!
Well, that timeout really more than anything just to break the momentum and hopefully get some on their side.
Yeah. They have been chasing throughout the first set, can't seem to get over the hump.
Guaza again, another serve. Can he come up with another big one here?
He can.
Good reception though. Avelona denied. Casanya comes up with a block there.
Boy, it always is extra special if the setter's the one getting those tough blocks. And a solo block at that. Look at this.
So Baptista is going to come in for Avelona. Let's see that subtle change. Can get them the ball.
Yeah, because it is the Cabstars' biggest lead.
Well, Batista comes in and does exactly what the coach wanted him to do.
Yeah, instant impact. Well, let's see if Alpha can make a run here with Baptista on the floor.
That was just too strong. Tanaka was there, but more than anything else, just had to get out of the way.
Couldn't control it. That was awesome there.
Yes, it was. That one is going to sail all the way to almost the rafters. And he knew it. Lido is still 4. They need to get some momentum here. Talking about the Alpha Protectors.
That's a good serve.
Shnaki denied. That was De La Noche. Check that. Again stopped. This time they go to Jared on the other side. Not too much power, but well placed.
Yeah, you know, you feel for Alpha because they had 2 successive defensive stops. But Shnaki is just so smart, you know, just put it in, just enough top spin.
And Takeda was still trying to get to that spot.
Yeah.
Good reception. Not able to channel the point though. Opportunity here. Still for Cabstars. De La Noche. Wow. What an offensive juggernaut they have.
Yeah. I mean, you're already seeing so much improvement in the game of the Cabstars because they've been playing together. You know, this is the second round already.
Jared once again. Can they get some more points? That's going to be close. What a joust! Talk about somebody being in the gym 24/7.
Yeah. Oh, obvious upper body strength. I mean, Sabanal is a taller player, but flex your muscles.
All those hours in the gym showcasing itself there. Back to the corner. Camposano not able to get enough lift on that one.
That was pretty much a frustrated push that he buried into the net.
First set will go to Capstar. Actually, they made a strong run in the latter part, winning this one 25-17. 25-17 is our first set scoreline. Getting off to a good start for Cabstars, and they had an even stronger finish in set number one.
Yeah, they played to their strength. We mentioned the strength of serving. They gave tough serves. It may not translate to aces all the time, but it actually gives a lot of problems to the first pass of Alpha Insurance. So the attacking wasn't as smooth as they would have wanted, as the way we saw in that game against Savage. So they're having problems. They need to correct that. They have to go back to the basics and try to give good passes. Cabstars really playing so well today. You see the chemistry is there. You know, they're enjoying everything working. They're passing well. So yeah, it was a relatively easy set. If you look at the numbers, they out-attack Alpha really because they passed well. So a lot, you know, Casania was just exhausting all his options, getting pretty much going to the middles and going to the wings, and they have been delivering. That is it. So for Alpha, I think you just need a stronger start here in the second set.
Well, there was a point in time in that first set wherein they got some momentum and then they stopped it with an error on serve.
Yeah, it seemed like, you know, look, we looked at the numbers. Alpha had one less error, which supposedly is good for them, but it's their also ability to convert, you know, the transition. They only had 9 attacks.
Let's see if they can get off to a better start here. Well, they need to, or else it's going to be a very short afternoon for them.
Well, they have a different starting unit, a couple of different players. So Coach Mike trying to find some answer to this great playing of Cabstars.
It's either that or he just wants to give the other players a chance because he might be using them come the semifinals.
That is true too.
De La Noche is going to send that one long.
Not a way to start your second set, but you can see the Cabstars are sticking to their starting unit. And why not? I mean, you should be pleased with the way they've been playing.
Well, they've clearly made their intentions of wanting to be able to make it to the next phase with some momentum.
I see that attitude of Casania. Okay, you made a hitting error earlier here. Make up for that.
Let's go right back to you.
Yeah, went straight back to De La Noche.
Back set. Oh boy. Jared was right there waiting.
Boy, they're showing us there that they, worked on their blocking here. At least in the entire conference, you can see now that they're blocking a lot better.
And you can see that Shinaki has been a welcome addition to the squad. He's actually not in their lineup, which they presented to us.
And remember when he joined Signal, he didn't really play a lot. So we're not really sure, like, all in paper. But now we're seeing he can serve, all-around game.
Now you can see why they got it.
Yeah.
They were looking forward to the future already.
Yeah.
Just not knowing that the future of the franchise was hanging in the balance.
Yeah, you feel for these players, but it is what it is. They're actually, obviously, you have to embrace the situation. And these players are just playing their hearts out.
Oh, that's for sure. And it's giving now another opportunity to a lot of these other teams to strengthen their lineups.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, Cajolo didn't have a blocker there, but they hitting error. So again, Cabstars, they're trying to control this second set. Remember, Anthony, with this rotation.
That might have been a violation there. But nonetheless, they're going to win the point. No. It still goes to Shinaki and company. Okay, now they're going to do a challenge. Block touch.
Well, yeah, early on they're already saying they didn't touch it, so they were actually surprised that they called the block touch on Alpha.
Well, the coach looked at two players and said, "Did you touch it?" One player said no. He looked the other way. Coach said, "Okay, let's challenge eventually." And now let's use technology. Well, if you're just joining us once again, we talked about the fact that both these squads are safely into the semifinals. And so it depends on what the coaches want to be able to do in terms of their approach here today. Because the fans of Alpha are saying, "Where's Umanda?"
Yeah. I was actually talking to him earlier. I was teasing, and I said, "Oh, you're going to score 30 points." He said, "I'm not going to start."
Well, the big question is, will he even play?
Yeah. Well, let's just hope he's healthy,
Correct.
because you will sit him only if there are health issues. So hopefully going into the last round, he will be healthy.
Or in this particular case, if your team is safely into the next round, you want to make sure there are no injuries. You want to be at full strength come the semifinals. Again, it's a difference of approach, really. There are some coaches that say, well, let them play, because if they're going to get injured, they will get injured. You cannot do anything to control it. Taking a little bit long there on the review. Here it is. And so they say there is no block touch, and so the point this time will go to Alpha. So now Cabstars are looking for a challenge of their own. Is that possible?
They can, but not anymore. I mean, you can see that the referee's already giving the serve to Alpha, so they will deny.
Well, the question is, he must have been looking at another play, because that play that was reviewed obviously can't be reversed.
Yeah.
They're going to get the next point anyhow.
Wow. That's Paul Brian Malaiba. Not the tallest of players, but you see the way he bounced that ball.
And the way he flew.
Yeah.
Incredible. They go right back to him now. Two players chasing after the same ball, and none of them made it.
Well, good effort though. I mean, it's like they're probably talking to, can you reach it? Can you reach it? I'm trying. Yeah, but that was overpass.
The lead is down to 1. It's an ace.
Well, they needed that. This is the point where Alpha wants to make their own run. You know, you tie it at 5 early on, try to get the lead and try to protect it.
Now they need another good serve. No mistakes or errors at this stage. There you go.
Yeah.
Guaza with a little tip. Chance here. Havelona. Point still alive. Camposana sets up Havelona. He gets denied though. That was against a triple block.
Yeah, they waited for that set. It's like you don't have a lot of options. You're obviously going to go to your outside hitter. Look at the blockers just waited. Oh,
Wow.
good save.
They were able to sneak that one in. Looking for a quick set. That was a misset there. And a violation is going to be called here in Alpha. That'll hurt.
Yeah. I always hate, you know, pretty much long rallies to end in errors. Lopez trying to, that was a great save for Lopez.
And the lead is back to 2. Down to 1 now of that error on serve.
Well, Cabstars lapsing into errors. Actually, in this match, I was surprised that they actually had more errors than Alpha in the first set.
That is quite surprising. It was 7 and 6. But they still won that first set handily. Guaza.
He is feeling it right now.
That's going to bring us here to our first technical timeout. It's a 2-point lead enjoyed by the boys in white.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference. I was able to have a chat with the Aep Cabstars, Nastin Guaza, the one with the power attack before the timeout. And I asked him about the team's chemistry. Of course, given that they are approaching the semifinals, kamusta naman? And he said that they're still trying to gel. They cannot rush this. They are still working on it. But outside of volleyball, the team is very, very close. He also mentioned that the coaching style here is very much different. That in this team, they've become the coaches themselves. That in fact, Nastin is assigned as the blocking coach of the team. He runs the blocking drills, the blocking systems and patterns. He is the one that instructs the team in each and every match. And Nastin, being the oldest at 30 in the team, naturally stepped up to the leadership role, and that his mindset has shifted given that his team prior a signal that they have been, used to winning, that winning becomes a habit that Nastin, for him, this is a bigger challenge. He is up for the role, and he is excited for the potential that his team has, and that winning and competing is a habit that he wants to instill in AEP. Back to you, Anthony and Noreen.
Thanks a lot, Baileys, on that very comprehensive report. Guaza with a serve. Camposana quickly gets that through.
You like the way he just slapped it through. Is that right? It's like, you gotta say it again. It's like he slapped it. Okay.
He said, okay, Casanya's a much smaller of these two. Let me attack him.
But Casanya had a stuff block earlier.
Little stutter step there before he served. Jared denied.
Oh, the blocking now. They had 0 blocks in set number 1. At least now you get stat 1.
For sure. And you tie things up at 9.
Definitely a better set for Alpha here.
All they have done is really kept their errors to a minimum. Camposano denied. Trying to go up the middle.
Boy, in terms of net defense, the Cabstars are really trying to, show that that's their strength. Although we did say serve was their major one.
Del Pilar ran out of airtime there. And there was no support whatsoever.
The athleticism of J-Rack de la Noche. He was the one who kept that ball alive. Then he got the set. Okay, he's just gonna drop it. You see that hole behind the blocker.
What a dig. Chance though. They go back to Camposano and he delivers once again.
Yeah, that's a great connection between Lopez and Camposano. Very quick set. The blockers were not well established. Look at this.
They were still trying to get there.
They're still figuring out who to guard.
Camposano back to serve. They go to Shinaki, and he uses the block there.
That's the thing. If Camposano's in the back, somebody's got to step up in terms of offense.
That's put down. Del Pilar getting up there.
Now finally, they get to run the middles. Del Pilar given an opportunity. Oh,
to the
dig.
wing. Great dig. De La Noche was just trying to get that to a teammate.
I wonder if they'll show it. You know who digged that ball? I think it was Del Pilar. No, you can't see it. So Caholo did right by Del Pilar.
Another good serve from Del Pilar. And the back row. And they're going to say, stepping on the attack line was Shinaki.
All right, Alpha grabs the lead. They want to protect it because they're the insurance protectors.
Let's see if they can correct. And it stays in. Del Pilar has been the spark. Now it's a timeout called by Cabstars as they find themselves suddenly down by 2.
Identify natin, malayo nung pinanggagaling ng serve, ha, Jay? Oh, let's go, let's go. Jay, middle natin.
Ano na?
Okay, middle natin.
Tayo sa akin. Kaya ka. Let's go! Let's go! Stars!
So back to the action here. Del Pilar still serving here.
But you are right. He is the spark.
And the spark has just sent that one all the way to the end.
Someone just blew the flame. But yeah, I mean, great contribution on the part of Del Pilar.
Oh, for sure. They still got a 1-point lead. Good blocking once again. And that lead is back up to 2.
And this time, Alpha having their version of a triple man block. Look at that. Great technique. Look at the arms.
There was really no place to go.
Yeah, they're really just good technique there.
Another good serve. Guaza saw there was a hole.
Guaza has been effective in the middle when he's in front, so maybe, yeah, you got to go to him more.
15-14. Still Alpha in the driver's seat. That's a great reception. We've been seeing great serves and great receptions. Here a chance. There was no block.
It's gotta hurt.
Well, that's gonna bring us to our second technical timeout. And don't look now. Alpha now in the lead.
Minsan nga huhuli sa rin na nag-aalala. Mga bagay na di kontrolado, patulog na, pero teka lang. Karero ko ba'y Bini? Bini? Oh, dag mag-alala, buhay ay di karera.
UAAP Season 88 volleyball is in full swing. Watch the games every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on the Pilipinas Live app. Also available on the UAP Varsity channel and on One Sports, because legends start here. 16-14 is our tally here in the second. Alpha up by 2, but Cabstars won set number 1.
I think Alpha, more than anything, has settled down here in this match.
Yes, they have. Camposano will run out of space. Coach says that was well played. Net just got in the way.
Yeah. Just the follow through there for Camposano, but of course not a good time for that to come.
Now the lead is down to 1. Back to Camposano. He gets denied. So back-to-back points will tie things up at 16.
Was that Casanya again? Oh, I see. I want to see. Yeah, it looks like it was Casanya.
So he says, okay, 1 apiece.
No, that's 2 for me.
Oh, he's got 2. But then that head-to-head with Camposano, 1 each.
Yeah. Oh.
That error is going to bring us to another 1-point lead for ALP.
Well, you can see here in the set, it's so close. These errors really will be a factor.
We're going to see that in the numbers we're going to show later. That goes just out. Jared was actually thinking of trying to get to it, and he let it go
Good read.
at the last minute.
Yeah, good decision. Alpha, you give it right back.
And now Guaza serving. He has been very effective there as well. Can he keep up the effectiveness?
Yeah, good serve.
Camposano just sent that one over. Shinaki denied. Back set. De La Noche.
Ooh, good save.
That was coming right to us. Back to Jared. And that time he uses the blockers.
Boy, masterful setting from EJ Casanya, showing he's going back to De La Noche, then he flipped it to Shinaki. That's a great exchange.
Nice timeout here for Alpha.
Pasahan muna natin. Be quick, open, merong backrow sa gitna. Ha? Simple lang natin. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Kailangan makuha mo yung ano, yung blocker sa gitna. Be quick. Be quick, open, ha? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Tara. Alpha. Asa.
Well, coach knew exactly what he wanted to be able to tell his players. Quickly said, let's go right to the play I set.
Yeah, you heard be quick, but more than that, he was saying get the middle blockers. You gotta, meaning you gotta go for that approach. Good pass. Whoa!
But Camposano gets denied there. By who?
EJ Casania. 2-1.
2-1. Individual matchup. Wow.
But you look at that slow-mo. It's the proper way to block. You see the way he guided that ball inside the court of Alpha.
And he timed that jump perfectly. Guaza, another serve. Great reception, though.
Oh,
and
much
that
needed.
time, it'll go through.
Much needed. You know that Camposano, your first option, has been blocked a couple of times. You need the others to get involved.
And we've got the lead to 1.
Some
nice numbers here. Yes, 3 blocks, 14 excellent sets.
From your man.
Yep. The gentleman who is leading 2-1. Head to head.
Wow. Boy, these are important points for Renz Cajolo.
Now we're tied at 19. It's going to be a sprint to 25 from this stage.
That's a full front row for Alpha. You want to take advantage.
Quickly going to the middle is Casania. And Doria delivers.
Yeah. Well, so far you can see in this match, Casania is making the right decisions. It's a matter of the hitters. Will they put it in or not?
From the back row. Naki, again, just using his smarts.
Well, he likes these opportunities, makes him think.
When he saw the 2-man block, he said, let's just use the hands.
Yeah, the outer hand.
That's going to hit the floor. 2-point lead now, cut down to 1.
That's better from Edward Camposano. Really, it's his follow through so fast. So you don't want the blockers to establish themselves.
That'll sneak in. And Shnaki once again picks up another point.
Well, Cajolo has been huge for Alpha. Shnaki has been that for the Cabstars.
Talk about a welcome addition for their squad here today. And he's coming up with booming serves still.
Oh, good save.
That's going to be close. But that looked like it was tipped.
It's the same play with Del Pilar going to the service area. Remember that challenge earlier?
Quickly challenged here. Look at the numbers of Shnaki. He's got a total of 10 points. 8 on attacks, 1 block, and also 1 ace.
Yeah, I think he has outscored De La Noche.
So they've got another ace that they can actually count on come the semifinals.
Yeah. Plus, you know, Casania has also been going to the middles. You know, so Guaza, Doria.
Last touch challenge, and it looked like that was, at least from our vantage point here, touch last by Alpha.
But I saw Del Pilar. He was already walking to the service area, meaning he didn't touch it. So we will see.
Well, he felt he didn't touch it. Let's see. That'll be nice to be able to take a look at it. And that's why we've got technology backing us up.
Well, for those who just joined us, the top 4 teams have already been determined. So 3B Events Masters and VNS will bow out of this tournament.
It has taken quite a while, but we want to make sure we get it right. Here we go.
So if you look at that replay, there was that was De La Noche trying to hit it off, but the ball was in his hand for way too long, so he still had the last touch. It wasn't Del Pilar.
And now you go to De La Noche, who's fresh.
Yeah, it is closing time.
Soriano will check in for the Cabstars. Del Pilar back in here for Baptista, who was the serve specialist in that particular instance.
Well, this is a pretty tight end here, the second set.
Back set, Doug. Oh! Everybody was waiting for somebody to take the first ball.
That was a huge miscommunication at the side of Lopez and Camposano. For Lopez, I am the setter, you know.
I cannot take the first ball or else I'm out of the play.
Yeah. The thing is, for Camposano, you moved.
A chance for them to end the set here. And they do. Again, another costly error from Alpha.
Yeah. And that really the impact in this second set. But what a set. What a comeback actually from the Cabstars.
That's definitely going to hurt. It is now a 2-0 lead so far here for the squad of the Cabstars.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and with us is the Alpha Insurance Protectors Coach Melvin Carolino. Coach Melvin, the match is still ongoing. There are still some adjustments that we have to do, but in terms of the lineup, ano po ba yung naging preparation natin dito? Is this the blueprint that we have for this match?
Oo, pinagandaan na namin to. Yung lineup na to, yung first 6 namin. Sila na yung pinapractice namin. 1 week kami nag-practice para dito. Okay naman. Tapos sa service receive, okay din naman.
Coach, we are approaching the semifinals and there are some games that are non-bearing, but what is your long-term challenges or goals na kailangan pa natin i-work on na hinahanap natin sa team natin ngayon?
Yung hinahanap namin sa teams na pinapractice naman namin lagi, yung service receive. Pagka nagkaroon naman kami ng receive, especially makakapuntos naman kami. Pag nawala yung receive namin, wala rin kami ano eh. Makaka-counter lang kami, chances na lang. Okay.
Thank you, Coach Melvin. Good luck po.
Okay.
Back to you, Anthony Noreen.
Thanks a lot, Bailey's. Well, there we got inside the mind and the mindset of the coaching staff here for the squad of Alpha.
Well, I actually wanted to know the changes from the first and the second set, but I think it's really, we practice this, I'm going to try this. I think it's more of trying because it is a non-bearing game. You know, they almost had it. They kept it close. They even grabbed the lead there in the second set. But he stressed the service reception. The thing is, I think they need to work even more on that because it hasn't been ideal for Alpha. You do have strong hitters, but you cannot maximize the potential of your hitters. And Cabstars, what you appreciate really is coming into this match, you see that they're the more focused one. They're sticking to their 6. We're going to use this as a stepping stone for the semifinals, right? And we're seeing it. They're playing well. I mean, everyone contributing. EJ Casanya really playing so well.
And again, going back to Alpha though, you know, they had their chances, but again, a crucial mistake wherein nobody got that first ball, and all of a sudden, it was set point on the other end.
Yeah, here, when you look at the numbers, what we're saying that they need to improve on their first pass, they cannot, you know. Again, it's the same as set number 1, 15-9, identical. Cabstars dominating in the attack department because they have been passing a lot better. Alpha just 9 attacks, so you're not maximizing your attackers, but we also have to give it to the Cabstars. We talked about how they improved in their blocking. They had key blocks, key stops there in set number 2, so they did come from behind to get it. But the funny part, the ironic part of this match, we talked about Alpha has the tendency to commit more errors, and Cabstars no. But in the first 2 sets, it's been, you know, a reversal of fortunes. Cabstars has more, but they make up for those errors with their kills and their net defense.
But can you imagine 3 more errors as compared to their opponents? As we have Sir Ricky Palou, of course, always present.
Yeah.
The 2026 MPTC Tour Luzon is back. Bigger, bolder, and tougher than ever. Local and international cyclists face a grueling 14-stage battle across 13 provinces and 5 regions. A 1,800-kilometer test of endurance, speed, and strategy. And don't miss a single moment. Catch all the action live on the Pilipinas Live app, also on One Sports and on One Sports Plus.
Well, the question that we've been asking you and I is, are they going to play Jao Mandal? It doesn't seem like it. Coach sticking to the second set starting unit.
And now here on the other side, still with the exact same lineup, are the Cabstars wanting to win this one, possibly in 3 straight sets.
And rightfully so. You're happy with the way this team is playing and you want them to be more comfortable come that semifinal. So yeah, I mean, it's Cabstars looking so much better than when they started here in the first round.
And welcome to the 3rd set. Nice dig. We go to Shnaki. Back set, and De La Noche, though, is going to run out of space.
You will recall he started that way in the second set with a hitting error. But let's see if Casanya will set it right back to J-Rack.
A little bit too much on that one from Shnaki. And it's 2-0 quickly here for Alpha.
Yeah, that was a great serve by Edward Camposano for that overpass.
Camposano, another serve. That time a good reception. De La Noche skying and scoring.
Yeah, we knew Casanya would go back to De La Noche. Here, get your second chance.
That's for certain. You gotta go to your main man. Jared sends that one though into the net. One of the few times he has not been successful on serve.
Yeah. In the first set, it's like that we said we like this rotation for the Cabstars, but yeah, he sends that into the net.
In the first set, they got about 8 points
From that
whenever he
rotation.
was serving. Exactly. There was no support there for Manaiba.
That's a great block, a great stop by Koholo because that was a one-on-one. Great read. Good start for Alpha.
They're up by 3. Can they sustain the effort though? There's another opportunity.
Oh.
Wow, what a save there. That should have easily been, could have been 5-1.
Yes. Wasted opportunity for Alpha, but you love the hustle in the defense for the Cabstars.
4-2, our official tally. Well, a quick attack will find the campfire.
Well, they'll take it, but we know Abunyawan actually can hit strong hits. It's just that they're not able to run the middles.
Koholo now serving. That's another great serve. Guaza. That was close to a violation there.
Just on time.
Released it at the right moment. What a serve there from De La Noche. What a chance here. From the back row, De La Noche again.
Oh. Good effort though for Alpha.
And from the back row, he still had more than enough hang time. Look at this.
Yeah, well, ever since his collegiate days, that has been his strength, that back row attack.
Look at the angle of attack. Incredible. Lead is down to 1, and that's going to hit the coach. I didn't know the coaches were allowed to play.
It's always the time for the coaches to have fun.
Lead back to 2, 6-4. Malaiba will score, cutting that lead back down to 1.
Using the blockers to his advantage.
Another guy who's got a lot of elevation. Jared. Back to Shinaki. Goes cross court and he's going to run out of room.
He saw the blockers, his hand, try to go for a tough angle. That was way out.
That was too acute of an angle.
Yeah.
Back up to 2, the lead here for Alpha. The back row and into the net there from De La Noche. It's a 3-point lead here in the first technical timeout. And it's Alpha with a solid start here in the third.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference. I spoke to one of the young gunners of Alpha Insurance Protectors, Jeff Abunya when I asked him what he does mostly outside of volleyball. And nakwento sa akin ni Jeff that he, Sabanal, and Havilon are actually coaches of the Solid 7 camp in Pace Academy. They're part of the coaching staff there. They teach mostly kids, the youth, both boys and girls, from beginner to advanced, and their daily routine from 1 to 5 p.m. is team training, 5 to 6 p.m. weight training, and from 6 to 9 p.m. they're going to go right straight to their coaching stint, and that's been their life for a year now. Volleyball is life, and he understands now, and the stress that the coaches have, it is extremely challenging. It is a test of patience, and buti na lang daw hindi matigas yung ulo niya. Patience and consistency is what they need to work on in this match as well. Anthony Narine?
Thanks a lot, Baileys. Well, as he said, volleyball is life. And Camposano says, come on, keep it going.
Well, he had a great pass, and then he was rewarded with that set. Well, they have been really going to Edward Camposano.
Doria thought he had the winner. Oh, De La Noche thought he had the winner, but Camposano was waiting for that attack.
Well, Camposano is actually leading his team here in the third set, defending well and hitting well.
And the lead is 4. Schnacki stopped. Back to Jared. That one is going to hit the antenna. It's now a 5-point lead for Alpha.
Set, overset. The rare ones for Casanya.
And a timeout will be called here by the boys in white.
Tama naman yung CSA TJ. So, kailangan maging sure lang tayo sa atake natin. So, kailangan maging resilient lang tayo. Next, okay lang magmadali dun sa atake. Pero wag yung pinsan yung kung anong meron tayo.
Akin dala mo, akin dala.
Sige lang, sige lang. Okay lang, bago natin. Layo pa yan. Layo pa yan. Isa-isayin natin, ha?
Let's go! Hey, go!
Good serve. Whoa! That's a tough block for Alpha. They're doing well in all departments here in the third set.
And this is the biggest lead for either squad in all 3 sets. De La Noche dug. Back to De La Noche. And he is stopped again.
Alpha Insurance, they know that De La Noche is the first option. And they have been defending well.
It's a 7-point lead at 13-6. This time, up the middle. And still, Doria denied. Unforced error there from Cajolo.
Well, that stops the bleeding. I mean, for Cabstars, it's like, thank you for the error.
Casanya now serving, trying to get his team back in this one. They've got an opportunity here. And De La Noche says, thank you very much. Back-to-back points here, put together by Cabstars.
Yeah, you can see Casanya really has the intention to, you know, give J-Rack De La Noche the confidence even after the errors.
Nice dig. Jared's gonna send that high. They're gonna say it was checked. So Camposano once again says, we're not gonna give this lead back.
Yeah. Boy, Camposano has been a workhorse for Alpha Insurance here in set number 3. Well, we know it's a must-win. They want to force a fourth set, but if you're Cabstars, you don't want to give Alpha new life. Jared Snacky.
And now is the time when they needed to be able to serve well once again and put together points in bunches.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow. Using the blockers there. Smart play.
Well, that's a way to take Snacky out of the service area.
Just making contact there with the outside hand of De La Noche. Still a 6-point lead. Trying to go up the middle, and it works.
But you know, much to the success here, at least here in the third set for Alpha, is they've been defending well. Their floor defense has been, has improved a lot. Their first pass and even their digging.
Doria is going to come up with a mistake on serve, and that is going to bring us to another technical timeout. It's Alpha up 16-10. So there you saw the libero of Alpha. Manato enjoying the action. It's good to be a spectator sometimes. Huh?
Well, you like the reel that we showed earlier. Well, interesting sub. CNC Lang and Ronquillo in for Alpha. They really want to finish this third set.
They mean business. And they pick up another point there, extending that lead back up to 7.
But you know, in terms of errors, service alone, Cabstars have 10, Alpha with just 4. And then blocking, that was the strength of the Cabstars. They have 0 so far, 4 for Alpha, so it's a complete turnaround.
Remember, the last time Alpha was on the floor, it is a reverse sweep loss that they had. Maybe they're looking for a reverse sweep this time around.
Yeah, they want exact revenge on the Cabstars and take it out on the Cabstars.
Good serve once again from De La Noche. They're going to need a whole lot more, though.
Good dig.
Back to De La Noche. Why not?
Well, they've been using Guaza as a decoy. But again, we did mention the digging of Alpha. Edward Camposano just trying to do everything.
De La Noche with a serve once again. That's going to work. Alpha extending their lead once again. Back up to 6.
Yeah, they can't seem to stop Javelona. Just using his smarts there.
That'll work up the middle there for Jared.
Yeah, but if you're the Cabstars, you want to go to Guaza. He had a couple of kills early on, but so far they've been going solely, aside from that, to Shnaki, to De La Noche.
Hang time once again. Shown there by Casanya. He can really sky.
Interesting enough, I think he's the top blocker for the Cabstars.
An error, though, is going to stop their serving and going to give another point to Alpha. 19-14 is our tally.
If you're the Cabstars, again, you don't want to be giving free points. You are chasing.
It didn't hurt them in the first two sets. It's definitely going to hurt them here.
Yeah. That's a good set to Guaza, who got a check.
Another service error. And another point gifted here to Alpha. It's a 5-point lead for Alpha, and Alpha now just 5 points away from taking set number 3.
The huge factor really are the errors of the Cabstars. One thing they need to address.
Quick play, and Doria delivers another point. He has been very effective in the middle.
Doesn't get a lot of sets, but when he does, he is very efficient.
Easily put down. Del Pilar showing us he's a pogo stick.
You got springs for legs.
Easily put that one down. A mistake here from Camposano though. Well, the insurance protectors need some insurance points here, because now we have Shnaki serving.
Well, it is a 4-point lead. If they want to make a run, has to be now.
Another great serve. That's out. And this time, the opposing coach does get hit. So, 1-1?
1-1.
While ago to Coach Santos. That one out.
Boy, these service errors are really hurting the chances of the Cabstars to make a comeback.
That's 3 here in the last 6-7 sequences that we've had. Del Pilar serving now. 3 points away from taking the third. De La Noche denied, now just 2 points away.
That's too predictable.
Sige, dahan-dahan nun. Nahabol na nga natin konti-unti eh. Kapitan lang natin. Layo
Tsaga,
mo.
Wait lang. Oh, shake muna. Shake. Shake, kuya. Shake, fry. Shake, fry. Let's go. Shake up, start.
You can see they're still trying to stay loose as they possibly can, because they are starting to feel the pressure.
Yeah, they needed that, something to break. They were playing tense here in set number 3. They needed some icebreaker.
Wow. Switching hands in midair. And that time putting it with the left.
So you have to thank the hang time of Doria. He had that chance. The set was actually pretty far.
23-19.
19 serving 23.
Serve specialist in.
Wow.
That's going to bring us to set point. Cajolo on a roll here.
Everyone is taking from the energy of Edward Camposano.
It's going to be that simple to end the third. They got off to a great start talking about Alpha, and they never look back.
Yeah, you know, you have to give credit to Camposano, but towards the end, it was the rest of the bunch who actually delivered the third set win for Alpha Insurance.
So extending this match here are the Alpha Insurance Protectors. Let's take a look at the highlights of set number 3.
Well, you know, after the first two sets, we actually feel that Alpha Insurance could play a lot better, and they did come out banging. In set number 3, Edward Camposano was really the leader of the pack in the entire start of the first set, doing it in digging, first pass, at the net, everything. He was doing everything. And what you love is his teammates took from that energy, you know, that determination. Everybody in their minds that we can play better, we have to play better. And really, I mean, that's why we're going to a fourth set, is because Alpha Insurance just played a lot better. They played as a cohesive unit. Players like Cabelona, Cajolo had key contributions. If you can look at the numbers, one department, really, the errors of Cabstars, that was really their weakness in set number 3. Then they were actually outblocked by Alpha. Look at that. Those 5 huge blocks was the one that actually propelled them to win the third set. So the attack's pretty much still the Cabstars, but Alpha changed their game plan, their strategy. They defended a lot better.
Well, you talk about the errors. It was 7, 8, and then 10. Talking about the errors here for the Cabstars. So, not a good sign. It's increasing. It's not decreasing.
Yeah. And from those 10, 6 were from the service area. Remember, that the service is the strength of the Cabstars. If you can't get your serves in, it pretty much takes away your advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is set number 4.
Here we go, set number 4. Still with a 2-1 advantage are the Cabstars.
That's a good start from Lopez. Ace serve.
Shnaki let that one go. He looked down and he said, it's out, it's out. But his coach said, it's good.
No, Lorenzo said also, it's good. 2 against 1.
De La Noche
Oh,
denied.
big.
Camposano. They say that was checked. It's going to be a point here. 2-0. Another good start for Alpha.
It's the same as the start in the third set. And again, it is Camposano. But, you know, we mentioned the floor defense of Alpha. It is really working wonders here.
Going to the middle. And a violation is going to be called there on the attack from Doria. Well, they're going to go for a challenge. Talking about Alpha.
Early challenge.
Not taking anything for granted here is Alpha. They want to be able to get whatever point they possibly can.
Well, this is a team, the one that won the third set and the start of this fourth set, is a team that played Savage and took Savage to a five-setter. Yeah, you can see the left arm of Del Pilar. He didn't feel the net. DJ Catania to serve for the Cabstars with the full front row.
Jared denied. Kept that one alive, and that's not going to get over. Malaiba couldn't find the right angle to get it over the net.
Yeah. No, actually, because he was hesitant because Lorenzo was there. But again, the defense of Alpha Insurance working. Oh, it's another service error for Schnacky. So this strength of theirs has disappeared because Schnacky is having all sorts of problems in the service area.
In the first two sets, they got so many points with him back there. Right now, they trail by 2. There you go back to your main man. Actually entering the fourth set, De La Noche already with 16 points. Schnacky with 13, Dory with 10.
Yeah, they've been going a lot to De La Noche, but his efficiency is not that great because a couple of errors.
Wow, what an angle there from Caholo.
You know, for Alpha, things looking good because they're playing exactly like the way they played in the third set.
Well, they feel like they found the winning formula. Malaiba stopped. Back to De La Noche. He goes down the line and it's out. But they say it was checked. Coach Santos thinking about challenging and said, let's not.
Because he has one left. I mean, there may come a time that he'll need a challenge.
Oh, that's for sure. That's why they say if you're going to challenge early, you got to be,
Sure.
absolutely certain. Quick work done there by Alpha.
You know, they've been giving quite some over passes, and Alpha's just been taking advantage.
So once again, back to their error ways. Guaza says, you have not called my name in quite a while.
That is true. We did mention they have to go to the middle. Guaza has been actually very successful. Look at that. The blockers weren't actually ready. Oh! Boy, they needed that. you know, that ace serve, because we did mention the Cabstars' strength is their service, and in set number 3, that's 0 aces. Boy, Cajolo doesn't get a lot of sets, but he has been effective, especially in the third and at least here in the fourth.
Well, you're talking about efficiency rate. He's got to be pretty high in that department. Shnaki gets up there. Well, at that time, showing us he's got hops. He went over the defenders there. Boom!
Bounce ball. Well, he can make up for his serves by his attacks. It's a good start here to the fourth set. Pretty close.
Another good serve from Guaza. But getting to the technical timeout ahead is Alpha here in set number 4 as they lead by 1.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and losing their footing in that third set are the Aep Cabstars. They lost their footing, they let their guard down, they were much more aggressive in that first 2 sets, but coming off the timeout, their body language changed and their team's environment changed immediately, saying to each other calmly that they need to forget that third set, and they gave the insurance protectors their flowers for playing better. But they all know what they have to do, and that is to keep their energy and intensity back up, stay composed, and to lessen those unforced errors. Anthony Noreen?
Well, right now they're trailing by 2. Shnaki got denied there.
Yeah, Alpha Insurance really has found their groove by the net. Their blocking has been working.
In the back row, De La Noche Doug. That was the right angle. They got it back and through. What an effort there just to get that point.
You see more of those saves from the men's game because they actually react so quickly. But yeah, that was a great save.
Nice dig. Nice dig on the other end as well. That one is going to hit the lights.
A frustrated EJ Casanya there.
Look at the numbers of Cajolo. 12 points on 8 attacks, 3 blocks, and also 1 ace.
Yeah, great compliment to Camposano.
Shnaki showing us his hang time once again.
You know, I feel the Cabstars are more successful if they distribute. You know, yes, your main option is J-Rack De La Noche, but you have the middles, right? You have Doria and Guaza. You want to distribute it because the blocking is working for Alpha.
Oh boy, that set sailed way past the pogo stick Del Pilar.
Yeah.
And not too much gets past him.
Well, that's a wasted opportunity because it now is a tied game.
And it's Shnaki serving again. Good dig. Malaiba. Talk about smart play. And serving once again is Jared.
Well, that is what we're saying. You want to distribute. Everybody now getting a touch for the Cabstars, and they find themselves ahead by 1. It can't be just J-Rack de la Noche.
That time though, Shinaki serve not getting over. And we are deadlocked once again at 11.
Boy, his efficiency has really gone down from the service area. Oh, good dig.
That's what you like the libero to do. Talaga hinatid niya yung bola sa labas eh. Sinigurado niya eh.
But that should be frustrating for Camposano. He's been the target of a lot of serves. He's been passing well. That was a great thing, but no help from his team.
Good attack. And Cajolo has been, as you said, a perfect complement here today.
Yeah. Huge help. Not too strong. Well, Alpha, you have to realize why you're also successful, why you won the third set. It's very little errors. You have to take care of your serves.
De la Noche with a serve. Easily handled there by Camposano.
Oh.
That's a little bit too wide.
Good effort there, though, by Cajolo. You remember him? Avelona, at the end of the third set, he has been instrumental for Alpha.
And now coming up big when he knows his team needs these valuable points.
Yeah.
It's now a 2-point lead off that point from Malaiba.
It's such a joy to watch, really, you know? Not the tallest of players, but look at his elevation.
He's going to do more shakes after that. De la Noche once again. It is familiar attack and getting the result that they want. 16-13. The tide has changed.
Welcome to the everybody in the club, make that booty go around and substitution for Alpha number 16 count. Number 8,
Malaiba serving still. Cabstars up by 3, looking for more. Camposano says enough is enough.
Well, they needed that from their leader. Camposano's been working so hard at the defensive end.
But offensively, he's been silenced.
Yeah, not much. But this is his time. He is in front.
That's the second service ace here because of an indecision.
Somebody shouted out and Lorenzo let it go.
Those are 2 points. Those are 2 free points.
Oh, overpass.
There's another chance here. And they tie things up in the blink of an eye.
Well, they needed that technical timeout to sort of calm their nerves.
And after yielding 3 straight points off that technical timeout, the Cabstars need to talk things over.
Take up!
Back to the action now. Shnaki says, let's start to right that ship.
Let's pull the momentum over.
And they got it back, and they're up by 1. Serving now is Guaza.
It is, you know, for me, the best set so far. It's close at this point.
Good serve by Guaza. Good reception there from Camposano. On the second ball.
Lopez getting aggressive at the net. That's why he's there. He has that in his arsenal.
And again, we're tied at 17.
Anybody set? Are we going to a 5th?
As we said, Alpha looking for a reverse sweep. And they go back to De La Noche. And that is the expected result.
Come crunch time, it's where the stars come out to play.
Casanya now serving.
Whoa!
That's going to sail long though. Casanya thought he had it. Just couldn't control the power. And again, we are deadlocked at 18.
Yeah, that's a great set by Lopez, creating that one-on-one opportunity.
Camposano serving.
Oh!
That's disappointing.
Yeah. He's been playing so well up until that service error, and it's a crucial part of the set.
19-18. Shnaki now.
Sure serve.
But in the end, they're going to lose that point. They might have been better served than him going for it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's had a very good percentage so far. And again, all square at 19. De La Noche. Wow. You can see the frustration on the face of Coach Santos. His players were there.
Yeah, it was a gettable ball. I mean, Del Pilar did what he could.
A 1-point lead once again for Cabstars.
That's a lucky break for the Cabstars.
That was a gift.
Yeah. Wow!
That, from Guaza's point of view, says was unexpected.
I mean, I thought it was a sure point already because it looked like the blockers bit into the decoy. What? I've seen it all today. That's hang time for you. He was on his way down.
Still got a hand to it.
Yeah. Monster block.
Boom. Cajolo saying, it's time I pick up the slack.
Another good set by Lopez here. Just one blocker. And he has the advantage over Malaiba.
Paolo Lopez out. Double substitution in place.
Yeah, that's Silang and Ronquillo.
Guaza puts an end to that point.
That's a great set. That's a good connection.
All started with that perfect first pass.
Thinking the blockers were late.
This time, it's a timeout by Alpha.
Yo, kailangan muna natin pumasa. Ha? Kailangan muna natin pumasa. Porsyento tayo. Ha? Ano? Kaya? O, tara, let's go. Kape! Alba! Protector!
22, serving 20.
Anxious moments for both these teams.
Let's see what De La Noche opts to do here with this serve. Just sent that one over. And they attack De La Noche there as well.
You know, that's really smart setting from earlier Lopez is on Silang. The opposite hitters have been successful, so yeah, why not go? You're milking Malaiba when he's the one blocking.
That's an excellent point. Right now, an important serve. They get it in. And again, back-to-back points for Guaza.
Boy, great decision making on the side of EJ Casania, really. Okay, Guaza has been effective, successful. Let's just keep going to him.
2-point lead enjoyed by the Cabstars. That just sneaks its way in.
Oh!
Shinaki with a big block. And that's going to be set point, match point for the Cabstars.
Well, former teammates going at it. Cajolo and Lopez back, but yeah, they face match point, multiple at that. But remember how quick they got 3 points after the technical timeout, so it is possible.
Oh, quite definitely. Trying to stay alive. And what a time for them to come up with another error.
Yeah, it's gotta hurt. But, you know, I mean, again, this is a non-bearing game. You'll see both these teams in the semifinals or in the last round. So, yeah, I mean, they're still in it.
It's going to be very interesting to see the lineup that we're going to have from Alpha the next time these two teams face off.
That's true. Everything is a learning or on-the-job training, a learning process.
A little bit of a hiccup in that third set. But the Cabstars take this one. 25-17, 25-21, 19-25, and eventually 25-21 in the fourth. Winning this one, 3-1.
You're still watching the 2026 Spikers Surf Open Conference, and with me is the player of the game from the Aep Cabstars, finally getting a win over the Alpha Insurance Protectors, EJ Casano. 4 blocks, 29 excellent sets. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
EJ, tanong na namin yung pinakatanong naming lahat. What happened in that third set?
Anong nangyari nung third set, nag-relax kami. And marami kaming naging error nun eh. Lalo sa attack error, and karamihan ng spiker namin, gigil. Kaya sabi ko lang sa kanila nung fourth set is pagpasok natin dito, relax tayo, compose lang ulit tayo, and gawin natin yung ginawa natin nung first and second set.
Eto, papasok na rin tayo, approaching na tayo ng semifinals. As one of the veterans of the team, what do you guys need to work on?
Siguro po yung yung depensa pa namin, and yung blockings pa namin, ma-improve pa namin. And yung chemistry pa. Kasi ayun pa talaga yung kulang namin yung chemistry pa. And good thing na ngayon sa game na to is nakuha namin yung panalo. And bush siya malaking bush siya ngayon na panalo kami. So hopefully magtuloy-tuloy ito.
Right. EJ, baka may mga gusto kang batiin?
Binabati ko yung family ko. Ngayon, andito sila ngayon, yung wife ko, and yung baby ko, and yung family ko dyan sa Las Piñas, and yung lahat po na sumusuporta sa Aep Cabstars.
Alright. Congratulations, EJ Casano, our player of the game of the Aep Cabstars. Congratulations. Back to you, Anthony Noreen.
Thanks a lot, Baileys. Well, they're hoping that can really propel them to even better things come the semifinals. Let's take a look first at the set 4 highlights.
Well, we always mention for teams that have been formed late, you learn throughout the conference. And what's good with Cabstars, we've seen them play one of their best games today in terms of chemistry. That's why we're saying every game, every practice is important. And EJ Casano really 29 excellent sets. I mean, that's crazy, but the 4 blocks. I mean, he's the top blocker probably of his squad, and he made all the difference, his decision making. Now they had some humps there in set number 3, but they made a turnaround in set number 4. So, as a whole, really, if you're a Cabstars fan, you like the way they're coming together, going into the semifinals.
And let's take a look at the numbers.
Well, Alpha Insurance in the first 3 sets, not too bad in terms of errors, but they had 9 in set number 4, just 2 for the Cabstars, so a total turnaround. But actually, it was close going to the end, but it was just breaks towards the end, and the Cabstars take it in 4.
Don't go away because more volleyball action coming up next. It's Savage up against VNS. That's going to do it here for our first game coverage. In behalf of Baileys Akot, my partner Noreen Go, Anthony Sutay saying thanks for joining us, everybody. Till next time, take care. Have a good day ahead. God bless.